So for that alone, they will be very glad to retain this seat, and as I say, will get an enormous morale boost from it.
World News from the BBC. The German Chancellor Angela Merkel meets the British Prime Minister today on what is expected to be her last visit to Britain before standing down in September. Boris Johnson is under pressure to challenge Germany's insistence that fully vaccinated British visitors must quarantine for 14 days. Our political correspondent Rob Watson says the British-German relationship is somewhat fraught.
Essentially, post-Brexit relations between Britain and the rest of the EU countries, including Germany, are difficult. It's as simple as that. The UK is still trying to figure out what should its future relationship with Brussels and the remaining EU 27 be. And many European leaders, including Angela Merkel, actually are rather suspicious of Boris Johnson. They think he's sort of unserious, untrustworthy, and as far as the Brexit campaign was concerned, untruthful. So the big picture is that relations between London and the rest of Europe are a work in progress.
Iraq has been hit by a widespread electricity outage at a time of scorching summer temperatures. The national grid is producing less than a quarter of its normal output. Baghdad and provinces further south have been particularly badly affected. Local reports said the problems had been caused by the failure of a major power line. Organisers of the Tokyo Olympics say they could still ban all spectators if the coronavirus situation in Japan worsens. They decided last month that venues can have up to 10,000 domestic fans, but now they say that decision could be reviewed. Other options include reducing the limit to 5,000 and banning spectators from evening events. Foreign dignitaries have arrived in Lusaka to attend the state memorial for Zambia's first president, Kenneth Kaunda. The giant of African nationalism died last month at the age of 97. The military has flown the liberation's heroes' remains to Zambia's 10 regions to allow the public to pay their last respects. That's the latest BBC News.
This is The Real Story from the BBC. I'm Ritula Shah with your weekly deep dive into a story that's making news and changing lives. And this week, Palestinian anger erupts over the death of an anti-corruption activist. Nizar Banath was a critic of the Palestinian Authority and its leadership, which governs parts of the West Bank.
In his YouTube videos, the human rights activist accused the Palestinian Authority of corruption. 2 months ago, warning shots were fired at his home. Then on Thursday morning, he was arrested.
His family says he was brutally beaten during the arrest and he was pronounced dead at the hospital.
We were at
home at 3:30 a.m. Suddenly we heard the noise of someone breaking in. They broke the windows, opened the door of the room where we were sleeping, and we saw they were from the security forces. We woke up as they were beating Nizar with metal sticks on his head.
From Bethlehem to Ramallah and in Nizar Banath's hometown of Hebron, thousands took to the streets to mourn his death and to demand the resignation of President Mahmoud Abbas, who's been in charge of the Palestinian Authority for 16 years.
The crime of assassinating Nizar Banat is the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole mountain of corruption, exclusivity, and ignoring legitimacy and democratic rights of the Palestinian people. We want the dissolution of this government, and we want elections through which the people will choose a leadership which represents them.
In Ramallah, security forces responded by firing tear gas at the protesters as they tried to march towards the Palestinian Authority's headquarters. The PA's now launched an investigation into Nizar Banath's death, but that's done little to calm the anger. Anger about corruption, anger at Nizar Banath's death in custody, and anger at the lack of change. How deep is the discontent? What is the scale and nature of the corruption? And are the concerns of Palestinians in the West Bank shared by those in Gaza who live under the rule of Hamas? Are Palestinians turning against their leadership? This week's programme is about the Palestinians and their concerns. Now, the dispute with Israel is obviously a part of this story, but it isn't its main focus on this programme today. We're trying to grasp
help. All right, Mims Davies, got to leave it there. Appreciate you joining me. Thank you. Thank you.
Some other stories now, and a global corporate tax rate of at least 15% has been agreed by 130 countries representing 90% of global GDP. The Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development said the agreement would provide much needed support for governments needing to raise revenues to fix their budgets and invest in measures to back post-pandemic recovery. But Ireland, Estonia and Hungary all refused to sign up to the agreement reached in the OECD framework, with other holdouts including Nigeria, Sri Lanka and Kenya. Andy Palmer, the former chief executive of Aston Martin, is reportedly set to take the same role at the electric bus maker Switch Mobility. The Financial Times is reporting that Mr Palmer, who oversaw Aston Martin's recovery from near bankruptcy and its subsequent stock market flotation, will lead an expansion into electric vans. Well, Switch, which recently changed its name from Moptar, is owned by the Indian bus and commercial vehicle giant Ashok Leyland, which is in turn controlled by the wealthy Hinduja family. And the OPEC cartel of oil producers and Russia have delayed until later today a meeting to discuss oil production cuts. Well, the OPEC Plus grouping was due to agree yesterday on a reduction to production cuts that was expected to add around 500,000 barrels of crude per day to global supplies. The delay follows objections by the United Arab Emirates to a proposal from Russia and Saudi Arabia to extend production cuts to the end of next year in order to avoid a glut. Well, the delay sent the price of Brent crude overnight to its highest level since October 2018. Now, a second launch into space has been successful by Sir Richard Branson's sibling company Virgin Orbit in the Mojave Desert in California. Tubular Bells Part 1, the mission's name, carried satellites from the Royal Netherlands Air Force, the Polish satellite company Sat Revolution, as well as the US Defense Department's Space Test Program. Well, joining me now from Long Beach in California is the Chief Executive of Virgin Orbit, Dan Hart. Dan, is it good evening or good night to you rather than good morning?
I'm not exactly sure.
Well, look, it's great to see you anyway. I mean, this is
with the launch. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, look, this is a very successful launch for you. Your second one. When will the next one be coming?
We'll be launching again in the fall. These early launches, we want to make sure we delve into the data very thoroughly. But so far, it looks flawless. It was a beautiful flight on a beautiful day.
Now, you have an agreement to launch satellites from Cornwall in this country. When do you think you might start doing that?
We're working towards the middle of next year. I saw some news that the regulatory activities are moving forward. That's great. We had a terrific meeting with the Prime Minister and the Secretary of State for Transportation, Grant Shapps, as well as the UKSA in Cornwall just a few weeks back. And by the way, we have an RAF pilot on the team who's been seconded to us, and he flew on this last mission.
Well, yeah, this is really the interesting thing. You use a modified Boeing 747 to launch the launcher rather than conventionally launching rockets from the ground. What's the thinking there?
Well, there's many reasons why that helps. I mean, first of all, rockets, they love energy, altitude, and velocity. So before our rocket has to do any work at all, it's already at 35,000 feet. And moving the better part of Mach 1. So that 747, a terrific workhorse, is actually the first leg of our trip to space. And it also allows us to take any runway and turn it into a departure point for space. So any airport can be a spaceport. And that's exactly what we're doing in Cornwall.
For people who don't necessarily know about these things, Dan, just explain why smaller satellites of the sort that you're launching are now in vogue.
There's a transformation going on in space where satellites that used to be the size of a small school bus can now be made the size of a toaster or a microwave oven. And that's made the cost of satellites much, much less expensive. It's made launch less expensive. You can use small rockets like the one we make, and it's causing access to space capabilities to be much, much more available. I mean, businesses like agriculture, manufacturing, the organizations can look at pollution from industry and see where the culprits are. The Internet of Things, tracking packages going back and forth, navigation. There are so many applications. We're working with ARCHIE, for instance, in the UK, who's producing quantum encryption and handing that off to the ground in the future from space. So terrific innovation, really set on by technology and terrific ideas.
I mean, it's looking quite a crowded space, though, isn't it? I mean, SpaceX, owned by Elon Musk, is talking about moving into this particular field as well. I mean, is there a danger there's going to be overcapacity?
You know, there's a need for very clear space transportation control, just like we have air traffic control. We need to move forward in that area, and we do need to watch and manage debris. And there are companies like Astroscale, who's also in the UK, who are looking at methods to take out satellites and pieces of hardware from the old days that are floating in space. So it is an area that needs to be watched. It's not a huge problem right now, but it can turn into one if we're not careful.
Now, it's been reported that you spent more than $1 billion getting to this stage. Have you a pathway to profitability?
You know, yes, we do. You know, we've created a new capability for space launch. So, you know, with the great support that we've had from Virgin, as well as Mubadala, our minority owner, you know, we've been able to create something that has this incredible flexibility. And frankly, you know, we can take off from anywhere in the globe. We can fly at any time and reach orbit. We got our green light to launch on 2 days ago, I guess, from the airport tower. We didn't coordinate with a big launch range. So it's a capability that can really serve the market. And then we have a full factory, so we're up in production.
Now, it's been reported that you're in talks to go public via a merger with the SPAC Next Gen Acquisition 2. Is there anything you can say about that?
Well, you know, we're looking at a number of options. There's really not a lot I can comment right now on the investment community, except that we're very well supported. We've been very fortunate to be a company under Richard Branson's vision.
Right. Well, we've heard overnight, of course, that Virgin Galactic, your sister company, is going to be taking Sir Richard into space on the 11th of July. Are you at all nervous about this? Are you going to make this deadline? Do you hear that from colleagues?
You know, Richard was with us the day before yesterday when we flew, and he had an incredible time with the team and interacting and being part of the operation. He really enjoys driving space forward. He wants to do it personally. He wants the community on this planet to understand that we're all on the same globe together. So he's very excited. We're very excited as well. And we really look forward to our sister company and their move into commercial operation.
Well, we look forward to hearing all about it. Dan, thanks very much for joining me at such an unsociable hour. Good to talk to you.
Great to see you.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live, we'll be taking a look at how global markets are starting this Friday morning. Don't go away.
Only about half a mile from the Turkish coast, and it's evident that is the boat seriously overcrowded. This is one of the most severe viruses in the world.
I'm Alex Crawford and I'm Sky's special correspondent based in Istanbul.
This is going to be the biggest party Tripoli has ever seen.
That's it got us then. There's a lot of action going on, a lot of still. We aim to be the best and the most trusted place in news.
Clearly not had very much to eat at all, a lot of them extremely thin and very frail. Her arms, look at her arms, I can put my entire hand round.
This is the cocktail of drugs which the doctors at this hospital have been giving their coronavirus patients, made for people who want clarity in an uncertain world.
Once it takes hold, it's very, very difficult for these firefighters to get a grip of it and get on top of it and put it out. The world's largest falls now down to a trickle in places.
I can't imagine how much plastic is lying at the bottom of this huge lake. Whoa!
Getting up close and personal with a rhino.
This is what makes the job so fantastic.
Welcome back. And Newcastle United has announced a new kit deal with Castor for next season. The British sportswear label already supplies Wolverhampton Wanderers and Glasgow Rangers, and it's partnered with Andy Murray, who's also a shareholder, to create the AMC brand he's been wearing at Wimbledon. Well, Castor was founded by the brothers Tom and Phil Bean, and Tom joins us now from the company's new headquarters in Manchester. Tom, very good to see you again. It's only fairly recently we had you on, isn't it?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me back in.
Well, look, I mean, this is a major announcement. I suspect you're not going to tell me, but I'll ask you anyway. How much is the deal worth?
I mean, we can't reveal the specific commercial details of the partnership, Ian, as I'm sure you'll appreciate, but it's certainly true to say that it's a significant financial investment on behalf of Castor, and that's an investment that we are very comfortable making, given the size of the club, the size of the fan base, the deep passion within the fan base, and hopefully the very exciting future ahead that Newcastle United has.
Now, this is about more than shirts, isn't it? Because you're also taking on Newcastle United's e-commerce operations.
That's right, yes, and that really came about through an analysis that we did about 18 months ago as a company, whereby we looked at the global sporting landscape, where the market has traditionally been dominated by a small number of mass market brands, but also been dominated by wholesale partners, which for a digitally native, digitally led brand like Castor didn't make a huge amount of sense. So exactly as you say, Ian, as part of this partnership, we will be operating the e-commerce store on behalf of the club. We'll also be operating the St James's Park physical store, which is very exciting. I think when fans are able to get back in the stadium in the coming months will be very exciting for everybody. And we also have plans to open additional Newcastle United stores in the city as well. So really a very exciting time.
Now, Mike Ashley, the owner, of course, knows a thing or two about sports. So what was it like negotiating with him?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, we've got a good relationship with the Frasers Group. I think they've got a very well documented elevation strategy that they're executing on at the moment. So I think whenever you're doing any deal with a major football club, it's always important to get comfortable with the people that you're dealing with, and that was no different here.
Now, obviously, there's been an awful lot of speculation that Mike Ashley might sell Newcastle. Are there provisions in this agreement whereby if the club does change hands, you still retain the contract?
I think when you're looking at these partnerships, Ian, knowing the long-term ambitions of the club and what they look like are always very important, and we've been very close to the ongoing discussions, which, as you say, have been very well documented, and we're very comfortable that the ambitions of the club are clearly very big indeed, and that's something that we are excited to play a leading role in going forward in the years ahead.
Have you got any idea what these shirts are going to look like? There's been a lot of speculation in the Chronicle up in Newcastle that you're going to bring back the old grandad neck collars that Kevin Keegan's club sides wore in the 1990s.
Yeah, so the kit will be released next week, Ian. That's something that we're next weekend, I believe, so about seven or 8 days away. And it's clearly a very, very big moment in any new partnership. The first kit that you launch is a seminal moment, and the phrase that we've been working to here in our Manchester HQ is heritage meets innovation. So I don't want to give away too many details, but we certainly want to respect the fantastic history and heritage that the club has, but also make sure that we're bringing in the performance fabrics and some of the new innovative technologies that are so important to Castor as a brand as well. So we're really looking forward to see what the fans think of that first new kit.
All right, watch this space. Well, I gather you're coming down to London later on today to watch your shareholder and partner, Andy Murray.
Yeah, but hoping to, Ian. It's it's been a phenomenal week for Andy. Maybe spent a little bit more time on court than he maybe would have liked in those first two games. But it's been great to see him back on centre court. I think everybody in the country would agree with that. And tough game today for sure, but certainly you'd be a very brave person to bet against Andy Murray when it matters most. Andy will always bring his very best. I'm certain of that.
Absolutely. Well, look, have a safe journey and send him all the best from everyone here at Sky News. All the best. Thank you. Well, another solid finish on Wall Street last night saw the S&P 500 finish at another record high after enjoying a sixth day of consecutive gains. But in the Asia-Pacific region overnight, there was mixed trading. The Hong Kong market, which was closed on Thursday, finished down by nearly 2%, as did Shanghai. But elsewhere, there were modest gains in Sydney, Mumbai and in Tokyo. Markets in Europe opened to the upside a couple of hours ago or so. Here's the current picture, pretty mixed, as you can see. The DAX in positive territory, the CAC 40 and the IBEX in negative territory right now. Among major talking points this morning, shares of Volkswagen are ahead by 0.5% in Frankfurt. And that was after the German car maker said its US sales in the first half of the year were the best in the period for nearly 50 years. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also just about in positive territory, 12 points to the good, as you can see, up just under 0.1%, led higher by some of the mining heavyweights. In percentage terms, though, the biggest gainer is Informa, the exhibitions and events organiser, which has had a bit of a push from some of the brokers lately. Shares up nearly 3% there. Outside the FTSE, the Irish building materials group Grafton is one of the leading gainers, up 2/3%, after news on Thursday that it's selling its UK builders merchants business for £520 million. On the foreign exchange markets, the key talking point here has been the US dollar, which has hit a 3-month high against other major currencies ahead of today's jobs data. The pound, as you can see, currently lower against the greenback. It's slightly higher against the euro right now. Well, I mentioned the oil price earlier on. It's actually slightly lower than it was trading overnight. That's ahead of the latest OPEC Plus meeting this afternoon. A barrel of Brent crude will currently cost you $75.70 a barrel. That's down a little under 0.1%. Well, let's go through some of this now with Karen Ward. She's Chief Market Strategist for Europe and the Middle East at JP Morgan Asset Management. Karen, very good to see you again. Second half of the year is underway. What are the big investment themes you're looking out for?
Well, from a macro perspective, it's all about inflation. Inflation has picked up significantly as economies have reopened, but demand has surged and supplies really struggled to keep up. So I think people really asking themselves, investors thinking about whether that inflation blip is a temporary phenomenon and whether that all starts to ease later on in the year, or whether actually this is something more sustained. And for markets, it's so important because, of course, if inflation is troublesome, if it is persistent, there's a greater likelihood that the central banks would have to start easing their foot off the accelerator, reducing some of these asset purchases and quantitative easing, and maybe even starting to think about rate hikes. And of course, the markets don't want to see that. So that really is the key second half issue.
So in terms of trading that, in terms of equities, which are the sectors that you're looking at? Presumably financials, presumably some consumer goods stocks?
Yes, exactly. I mean, the consumer is looking extremely strong. I mean, here in the UK is similar to what's happening elsewhere in that actually employment is coming back very quickly. So therefore, the fears of furlough schemes and employment support perhaps isn't as dire as we might have thought. Housing markets are booming, construction's booming. So I think the consumer themes certainly still look pretty strong, but business investment is picking up as well. If we do get into this really strong recovery and inflation is a little bit persistent, but it's of the healthy inflation, it's signs of strong demand and good growth, then what we might see is this value rotation. Value has been one of the big leaders of the markets this year. It was the loser last year, but if we do see that recovery flourish, then I do think it's going to be another good second half for value stocks and segments like financials, as you mentioned.
Something that I noticed that you've alighted on for the second half as an interesting trade is Chinese government bonds. I mean, this is something that's been overlooked for quite a long time, but it's getting a lot of interest now, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. I mean, if we think about what we want our bonds to do in our portfolio, they're supposed to do two things. They're supposed to provide us with a nice steady source of income, and they're also supposed to be the ballast in our portfolio. They're supposed to steady a portfolio during periods of volatility. And the problem we've got with developed world government bonds, so our gilts or US treasuries, is we're not
any
getting much
size of
income.
land that you will need.
Gilts getting
With
very
My
little
Africa
income.
Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Star Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world in adjustment. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you're listening to Starr. Glory to your name, Jesus. Aha! Put your hands together, come on! We worship you, Lord.
Welcome.
We say, we lift our voices and say, hallowed be your name. Whatever comes our way, we lift our voices and say, hallowed be. Sing it all around the world. Oh Lord, the one who is to come.
Oh yes, hallowed be the name of the Almighty God. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. On the 22nd day of July, the year 2021. Time now, 10:38. The Friday edition of the morning show.
What a grateful heart. Come on.
Well, you know what? We say it here.
Jesus, you never fail.
Of course, it is the coolest way to start your weekend. So I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well, we salute you all and we welcome you to the show. Of course, I am Archie.
We worship you, Lord.
From now till 1 o'clock, I'm going to be your captain. I'm going to make sure I take you across the globe, making you know or bringing to you what is happening across the globe. But you know what? It is an interactive program, and therefore you can also share with us what is happening in your area. But let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. To my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, Kojo D, and Mr. Dan TABIRI. That is the team for this morning. I salute you all, gentlemen. I think we have to call it a gentleman's club. Ha ha ha! Yes, sir. And a special good morning goes to Felix all the way in Aberdeen. To Malik Dramani Mahama, Mr. Good morning, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin. Dr. Martin, good morning. Mr. David Kluche, good morning to you and the family as well.
With a grateful heart, come on. If you feel voice, say Jesus, Jesus.
Okay, special good morning also goes to Kamara Hividi in Minnesota, Beyonce, and all the Americans. To all our wonderful listeners in Europe, Asia, Australia, and the African continent. In Nigeria.
Oh Lord.
To all my brothers and sisters. All the freedom fighters there. I salute you all. And I hope you are all doing very, very good this morning. Let me say good morning to Sheena Yusuf. Sheena, I hope you are doing very well. And Shegun Sani, he said, please UK and Nigeria. Okay. We hope that authorities are listening to it.
Put your hands together, come on.
Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Let me say good morning to Sister Gina Latte, working and still listening to us. Lady, go and do some work. Let's say morning to all presenters of Starr Radio UK.
Put your hands together.
It is the Friday edition of the morning show, of course. So if you're the first time of listening to us, this is how the program goes on Fridays. I'm bringing the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We'll move on from there and then go global trotting.
We lift our voices and say,
could be bumpy, as I say all the time, but get yourself a hot drink or a cold drink, whichever is appropriate. Get yourself seated, or if you're standing in a very comfortable position, and we will go global trotting. Then at 11 o'clock, we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki who will be joining us to bring you updates from Nigeria. Wow, there's lots happening. Lots and lots and lots. And so far, I've not received any information otherwise to say that the rally tomorrow in Lagos, the Lagos rally, will not take place. But I think for sure it's going to be taking place. But for sure, when it comes on, he'll be bringing you more details on that front. The whereabouts of the wife of Chief Sunday. Have they taken them to the federal capital or what? We'll be looking into all those stories. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Then we'll go on from there. Of course, music is going to be part of the show. Exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions wherever you are. But before then, if you want your voice to be heard, you can post your comments on our Facebook page. Or you can text on WhatsApp or WhatsApp it to us. It is 0753-966-1744. 0753-966-1744. So the line will be open at 12. At 12:30, I'll take you straight to Kent where our money man will be. To take you through the money hour, making sure that you listen to the program and you have some money in your pocket. Okay, so that is a gist of what we'll be doing. Exactly at 1 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So welcome. Stay with me. Let us all do it together.
Oh Lord.
Playing in the background, hallowed be thy name, Elijah.
Jesus, Jesus, you
God has been good unto us.
You were never filled just the same yesterday, today. Take a look at me, the one you say. Oh Lord, hallowed be.
I think I'm falling in love with this song. Let me say good morning to Charlotte Odum and Rabna. They were on the show yesterday and they introduced me to that song, and over the night I was singing in my head. Oh my goodness, look at me, the one you say.
We worship the Lord Jesus.
Okay, Starr, are you okay? It's not 10:44.
Oh, we'll take that one more time now. With open hands we say, wave your hands to him. We lift our voices and say, hallowed be your name. Dear Lord, no one, whatever comes our way, we lift our voices and say,
hallowed be your name, hallowed be your name. Let's crack on. I'll be bringing you the full song in a moment, but now let's just go and have a look at what the quote for the day and all the others say, and then I promise you, I'll bring you the full length of that song. Yeah, it is a lovely jubbly tune there. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. Now, first and foremost, that the quote for the day says, the best way to achieve success is to work on your own self. The best way to achieve success is to work on your own self. So you have to work on yourself. I have to work on myself harder than you do on your job. So work on yourself to acquire, the best knowledge of what you are doing. Okay, then once you have that, you can apply it to the job, and the job will just be flying like no man's business. What about that? Are you doing so? Well, I don't know about it. I'm doing my best, and I hope that we all learn from it and then do something good with it. It is Starr Radio UK. Now, moving on to the weather front. Now, this weekend, today and over the weekend, this is how the weather is going to be for you if you are landing outside this of England. Now, sunshine today. Sunshine will develop for the afternoon, but this will be accompanied by a few sharp showers with a slight chance of thunder. Now, tonight, any daytime showers will ease to leave a dry night initially, but thick cloud will soon build with spells of rain arriving towards dawn. Rain will be locally heavy in places. Now, the temperature is going to be 24 degrees, the lower is going to be 16 degrees. Pollen level is going to be very high, moderate. UV level is going to be moderate, and the pollution is going to be low. Sunset 21, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 04 for the 8 hours. Now, when it comes to Saturday, spells of rain and showers will develop and persist throughout the day. This will be locally heavy in places, and a few rumbles of thunder are probable, particularly during the afternoon. And then come Sunday, there will be an unsettled day with widespread showers developing throughout. These potentially heavy and thundery as well. Then the temperatures will be ranging between Saturday will be 21, lowest 15, and then Sunday 19, lowest 13, and they start dropping again until mid-week next week when we have it rising to about 20 degrees. So that is a bit of the weather front or the weather forecast for you. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a quick break and I bring you the travel update. It is Starr Radio UK. Don't you go away.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. Anything that you will never do. Keep your eyes on the road. Check it out. Anything that you will never do. This is Ghana, my people right here. Big shout out to all the people in Africa. Can you feel this? The sound that puts you on down. Anything that you will never do. Mr. Average Rock Stone. Keep your eyes on the road.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep it updated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. Coming your way, 10:48 today. Well, so what is happening on your travels? On my way to the studio, it was like, wow, minutes, proper one. From the Pelly to the Croydon overpass, and then to the Wellesley Road and all those places. I mean, serious traffic there. If you can avoid it, do your best to avoid that. But let me bring you what is happening when it comes to the underground and all the other means of transport. So, London Overground is suffering some severe delays due to between Gaspolock and Stratford due to a customer incident in the Kentish Town West area. Now, good service on all other routes, overground routes. Now, Waterloo and City Lines have still got planned closures. That aside, all the others, good service there. TFL Rail, DLR, London Tramlink, good service. Now, moving on to the Riverbar this morning. Woolwich Ferry is suspended due to industrial action. That aside, all the others, good service. But keep your eyes on the roads. I'm keeping navigated. I promise I'll on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes to you every weekday from 10:40. Now, moving on to the National Rail. Apart from the Great Western Railway that's got minor delays, all the others have got good service. But keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. Now, on the final segment of the travel update, A24 has got closures, A4, closures, A41, closures, Central London Red Routes, closures, A205, closures, and A20, serious delays. A21 too has got serious delays. Let me bring you a bit of details of that one, so if you can avoid it, avoid it. Now, that is westbound traffic on Eltham Road, slow moving on approach with tailbacks to Kidbrook Park Road. So expect delays there. So if you can avoid it, do your best to avoid it due to utility work that is going on there. But it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And as I would say all the time, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your comments for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 6 minutes to the top of the hour at a time. We're trying to get a link down in Nigeria. So as and when we have it, Mr. Olayomi will be joining us to bring you updates from Nigeria. You know, there's lots happening on the ground. But wherever you who is listening to us, those of you in Nigeria, wherever you are, if there is, if you can send us information pertaining to what is happening on the ground, we would love to have that. So make sure you you send it to us. You can put it on our Facebook page, or you can text or WhatsApp it to us at 07539661744. Okay, but for now, let's go global trotting. Now, so what is happening from across the globe? Now, first of all, here in the UK, we start from here. Now, Labour hold Batley and Spen seat in by-election. The result means Kim Leadbetter will represent the seat previously held by her murdered sister Jo Cox. Yeah, so we say congratulations to her. We know that what do you call him? This man, what is his name? I'll bring you details of it. Who went in there to go and ruin her chances of winning the election. Didn't end up getting what, but a very thin majority there, 300 votes that give her that victory. So we'll be looking into that story as well. Okay, some people were trying to undermine Keir Starmer. Okay, but at least for once they've won. Isn't it because it's a strong Labour seat or what? Okay. Now, event organizers should stand down, Saskia Jones' family says. They say organizers of an event where a convicted terrorist killed 2 people should step down. And the coercion and rape investigation, my yoga school. Okay, that's another story making the round. And then some other stories making the rounds there. Prime Minister to discuss travel curbs with Merkel on UK visit. The German Chancellor has previously suggested all UK travelers to Europe should face quarantine. Well, now there's they're trying to water it down a bit to say that, well, if you have got all the double dose of vaccine, then you should be allowed to go in and out freely. Okay, man charged with assault over witty incident. A group of men were seen accosting England's chief medical officer in a park on Sunday. Well, they are facing their own Waterloo. Yes, they were trying to say that, they were trying to take a selfie. They were trying to take a selfie with him. But if you want to take a selfie with somebody, don't you think that you have to ask permission before you do so? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Okay, let me just quickly take a break, and I will be with you. We'll continue with that update. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. If you have tuned in, just tuned in or joined us, it is the Friday edition of the morning show, coming your way all the way from London, where we are based. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Like I said earlier on, I'm doing my best to have a link from base in Nigeria, where our colleague Mr. OLAYOMI is, so that I can bring some updates from there. However, whilst we're still waiting for him, the program will still have to go on. So stay with me, don't you go away. I'll be joined later on during the program with Mr. Frank Davis, and I think Kojo D will also be joining in. We'll be having Mr. Dan TABIRI also joining in at 12:30. So just continue to stay tuned, don't you go away. So continuing with the global trotting. As I said earlier on, a man has been charged with assault after England's chief medical officer, Professor Chris Whitty, accosted by a group of men in a park in London. Well, I hope that serves as a deterrent to people who want to be doing sad things. Well, Harry Dunn's parents speak for him in damages cases. Now, Charlotte Charles and Tim Dunn face lawyers acting on behalf of scholars in the US. Are they going to receive some, just take some compensation and then let sleeping dogs lie, or what? Now, at times, I want us to have a look at that as well, because at times, when there are issues like that has happened, maybe you've lost a loved one due to some incident or some action or inaction of somebody. Now, what do you want? Do you want the person to be punished, or do you want a compensation where you can do something of build a memorial or something for the person that is lost? Or what exactly do you want, finding yourself in such a situation? If you've been in that situation before, what would you want done? Okay, well, we'll be looking more into those stories later on. It is Starr Radio UK. Now, moving on to other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Last foreign forces quit Afghanistan. Bagram base, the sprawling air base, has been the center of operation against the Taliban and Al-Qaeda for almost 20 years. So what is going to happen? Is the Taliban taking over? Yes? Somebody will say yes, somebody will say no. Australia to have arrivals to fight Delta strain. Australia will accept just over 3,000 people a week, a measure likely to last until next year. Oh my goodness, why? All because of the Delta strain. We'll be having a detailed look at it. In Lebanon, suffocating darkness, 6-year-old Cedra is one of the people whose lives have been put at risk by the country's energy crisis. So it's doomed to affecting them there. Now, Boy Scouts reached $850 million deal over sex abuse claims. The settlement was made with some 60,000 people over historic claims sexual abuse spanning decades. Now, where did it take place? And where are people getting the compensation? Did anything of the sort happen in your backyard? And if it did, have you also put your claim in there? Well, if not, what's going on? US and UK agencies accuse Russia of cyber campaign. The attackers' targets include parliament and political parties in a continuing operation. Well, worrying. Now, in a very scary story, a swollen crocodile sparks panic in an Indian village. Wildlife officials caught the animal and released it into a nearby river. The crocodile decided to come to visit, so it was rolling around in the town, and people started picking on their toes, taking on their toes and going to hide. Okay, Richard Branson sets 11 July to make space flight. The UK businessman finally names the date when he will climb aboard his Virgin Galactic rocket plane. Well, he's going to be flying. What? Do you want to join them? How much will it cost you if you want to fly to space? Not to the moon, just to space. I think one day I want to go there. It's one of my dreams, you know. Okay. Then, on the African continent, leaders arrive for Kaunda State Memorial. Zambia's liberation hero will be remembered by past and present African leaders in the capital, Lusaka. I'll bring you more details on that front. But remember, this afternoon, exactly at 3 o'clock, my colleague, Mr. Frank Davis, will be hosting the Roots of Africa program, where it looks into the historic, our culture, it looks at our royalties and everything there, and looking at some leaders like the late Kaunda. Will be one of the areas. If you want to know more, make sure you go back to all the the program that we've had in the past, and it will help you a great deal. It's the best way, or a better way, to bridge the past with the present. Okay? Yes, and it will help you in the future as well. And that is history for you. Starr Radio UK. Africa Top Shot painted please and unfazed zebra. A selection of the week's best photos there. We'll bring you more on that. Those who like painting, the ancient techniques helping fight climate change, how reviving traditional farming techniques could be helping in the battle against climate change in Uganda. Hey, so they're going to use the hoe and all those stuff, the ancient things that they were using. Okay, Starr Radio UK. Uganda police arrest suspects in minister's shooting. The police say suspects were trained in the same camp as rebel operating in DR Congo. And then South Sudan oil refinery ready to supply the region. That's a good one there. What percentage is going to remain in that country? That is a big question. We like trading everything out. But Starr Radio UK. Now, when it comes to the statement that was made in Russia yesterday, by the my apologies, in China yesterday, by the Chinese leader celebrating 100 years of the Republic. Whoa, what do you think about that? It says, hey, one in the West, I'm going to smash your heads against iron what do you call that? It's the iron or steel walls. So the walls of China, I think it's going to take all the Western leaders and go and smash their heads there. We'll be looking at that. Is it a threat? Saying and threatening that they're going to take Taiwan as well. What would the West do? Is it about to, unleash some war that we will not be able to end? Because the West, who are supporting Taiwan, will not sit aloof and say, "Oh, that is we have the US and the UK who support Taiwan." What is going to happen there? Is China being too big in issues? Starr Radio UK. Okay, and in Nigerian Parliament has passed overdue petroleum sector reforming bill. What are the details of it? We'll do our best to bring you that. But moving into some other stories making the rounds in Nigeria. Strippers invited to naming ceremony in Lagos. 3% insult to host communities. Group insists North Delta wants 10%. Okay, Osibanjo, federal government will resolve all challenges, remove bottlenecks. Now, defection, one-party system not possible in Nigeria, the Gombe governor has said. Igbo's men engage as in gun battle. That is what the DSS are saying. They are saying that that's the reason why they also sprayed the house and killed them. The Department of State Services claims men suspected to be guards of Sunday Igbohu engaged operatives of the agency in a gun battle during raid on the home of the Yoruba Nation agitator in Ibadan on Thursday morning. This according to the DSS spokesman Peter Afunaya, who stated this during a press conference on Thursday following the arrest of 13 of Igbohu's armed men by a team of joint security operatives. The raid, according to Afunaya, followed intelligence that Igbohu was stockpiling arms to cause chaos within the southwest region. On approach to his residence, the team came under heavy gun attack by 9 men suspected to be Igbohu's guards. 6 were armed with AK-47 guns and 3 others with pump-action rifles. The DSS spokesman said in the course of the exchange, 2 of the armed men were gunned down while the rest were subdued and arrested. Only one operative, who was shot by the assailant in his right hand, sustained injury. He has, however, received medical attention and is very stable. The gun duel, which lasted an hour, offered Igbohu the chance to escape. Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igbohu, is now on the run. That is what they are saying there. But we'll be looking more into it. This comes at the back of the arrest of the Igbo IPOB leader Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, who has been taken round or shown on the national television being handcuffed. Okay, we'll be looking more into those stories. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, if Igbohu was arming his men, now why haven't they gone to the terrorist group, the ISWAP, and what do we call the other ones there in the bush where they are properly armed, where politicians are arming them? Why haven't they gone there if they have the guts and they think they've got all the technology, the intel and everything to go and fight those people who are destroying people's communities and stuff like that? Why did they go to Igbohu's place? And do they have any evidence that they got any guns and stuff like that? Well, we'll be looking more into those stories when I have my colleague Mr. Frank Davis joining in, and a lot more from there. Akufo-Addo's government relies on brute force and violence. Who is saying that? Mr. Totobi Kwache. He's been quite a long time since I heard of him. The former National Security Minister, Mr. Kofi Totobi Kwache, has slammed the Akufo-Addo administration, describing it as one that relies on violence and brute force as a first resort. In an opinion on the killings of Ejura at Ejura by the military, Mr. Totobi Kwache warned that the increasing military attacks on civilians demanding justice is a recipe for disaster if not immediately addressed. He said, unfortunately, the latest violence is abetted by the same toxic combination of political intolerance, pervasive impunity, and fundamental dishonesty that was responsible for the maiming at Ayawaso West Worgon and the killings at Techiman South. The lynching of Ibrahim Kaka Muhammad and the use of live ammunition on protesters demanding justice for his death are but the latest examples of the notable escalation in political thuggery. Well, I'm going to be bringing you more on that story. But interestingly, is it now getting to time where citizens have to now also, I don't want to say that when it comes to Ghana, but it's getting to a point that we need to be saying that citizens may have to find ways and means to also stand the threats that they are also facing from the military. Now, some soldiers have been accused of brutalizing some residents of Wa in the Upper West region on Thursday. The move is said to have been triggered by the theft of a mobile phone supposedly belonging to one of the military officers. The victims, who are mostly commercial tricycle operators, motorists, and pedestrians, were whipped and made to roll on the bare floor, with some forced into gutters nearby. Several of them are said to have sustained various degrees of injuries. 2 of them are currently on admission at the Wa Municipal Hospital. One of the victims, a 29-year-old vulcanizer, Gafu Mahama, is suspected to have developed a fracture in his right tire during the assault. The public relations officer of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, Cletus, what is his name again? Cletus Awuni, was also a victim. We'll be looking into all those stories. Brute force being used. Now, this morning, Commander, citizens there want to embark on a demonstration, I think tomorrow, and they are saying that they've been invited by the police to meet for a discussion. And one of the champions of that move is saying that, well, he is of the view that they're going to tell them to step down, but they are of the view that because the sugar factory, the Commander Sugar Factory, has been left for how many years now, sitting there dormant, they think it's a waste of state funds. Now, yesterday we had some other information coming through pertaining to some judgment debts that were coming. Now, if the state uses state's money to go buy a vehicle that some over a period of time think that, oh, it's a useless vehicle, but can still ply a route, can still move people to and fro, why do we stop using it? Because once we stop using it, it's just a waste of the money that we have, or that we don't, the scarce resources that we don't have, that we've used some to buy that. But because it doesn't belong to individuals, therefore, they want to go on, sit aloof, close their eyes, and let the waste continue. But I think it's getting to a point where people who cause states to lose money have to be, put before the courts. Somebody said to tell you that, well, these courts, can we trust them? Well, we are going to make them. We will have to make them trustworthy ourselves. But this is not what we're going to look at. Yes, 11:15 the time. Let's take a music break. Get yourself a cold drink. I'm going to get one and chill. Yes, this is from Eli J, and he says, hello, word. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you.
And say, hallowed be your name. Whatever comes our way, we lift our voices and say, hallowed be. Sing it all around the world. Oh Lord, no one who is to come. We lift our voices and say,
online, on mobile, and soon on DAB. This is Starr Radio UK, the leading Afro-Caribbean radio station in the UK.
You'll never feel what just the same yesterday, today. Take a look at me, the one you say.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7
At home,
on your smartphone,
all around the world.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Take a look at me, the one you say. Oh Lord, I can save you. Put your hands together, come on. Oh Lord. To the mighty God, the one who is and is to come. Come on, come on.
online 24/7.
Lift up your voices and say, Jesus, Jesus, you never fail. You will never fail. You are just the same Lord. Yesterday, today. You Lord, take a look at me, the one you say. Oh Lord, hallowed be your name. Yeah. Jesus, Jesus, you have never failed. You will never fail. You are just the same. My yesterdays and today. Take a look at us. Look at us, the one you say. Hallowed be your name. With a grateful heart, come on, sing it out. Jesus, 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 oh, Jesus, Jesus, oh, yesterday, today. Oh, take a look at me, the one you say. Oh, we worship your name, Jesus. Hallowed be your name. Don't stop that.
Well, so that is Elijah. Hallowed be your name. Hallowed be the name of the Almighty God. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:21. I'm not here by myself. I'm here with my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davis, in the house. And let's say, Frank, good morning to you.
Good morning to our listeners, our wonderful viewers as well, our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Panama. We say good morning to all of you. A special one to Princess. I know Princess, Dr. Princess. You know, that's a proper combination.
Yes, Doctor and Princess. I like that one.
Dr. Princess, I say good more special good morning to you. Keep safe, and the Lord is in control.
Yeah, and to all our health workers, we salute you, because Sunday they're going to be celebrating them. I mean, like a Thanksgiving.
Now, when I call them individual, I clap for them.
Yes.
The other time I was asking, since you are in the help, can I clap for you? On him, I hope you are doing well.
Yes.
I'll clap for you again on Sunday. Don't worry. And let's again, since I Latte,
yes,
I will clap double portion.
You see, with clapping, you will get lots.
Oh, for the clapping. I even have Odundo. I want to add Odundo too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think the Odundo. Who should I play Odundo to? I think our friend Hausa Koko.
Oh, okay. We'll add a Odundo to it.
We'll add a Odundo to
yes,
it.
Yes.
Caroline, I hope you're doing very, very well.
Yes.
Thank you for your visitation the other time. And let's not forget our sister, Mother Regina.
Yes. It was a birthday. Was it last Monday?
We celebrated.
Yeah, we celebrated it.
We are still celebrating it.
A 1 week celebration. A week long.
It's a special gift. What can we say?
Yes.
Because of her, the world is better.
You see, if she's finished her work, God will just take her. Until then, the world is going to be better with her presence. Yeah. Okay. How are you?
Actually, I'm doing very well.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Just a bit of, what is happening back home, Africa, Ghana. It's a bit troubling. You wake up or at night, you receive messages and you ask yourself, I mean, stories that you hear that you think will not be close to you.
Yeah.
Seems to be something that are under your nose. And you wonder where and why. Those are the only few things, but hey, we're on. We're moving on.
Okay. Well, let me once again say good morning to Olayomi as well. Doing well, keeping safe and sound. Thank you very much, listeners who want to know how you're doing. So it is great. He's okay. He will try to connect in as and when he has the time to do so, or the connectivity. All right then. Now let's quickly have a look at some story. I'm just going to go international straight, and then we pick up from there and look at some other. Yesterday, the what do you call them? The Chinese they celebrate They did celebrate is it 100th anniversary of the I don't know whether the Republic Chinese.
That's when the nation was formed.
Okay. And Chairman Z or President Z made a statement. Now that statement that he made, saying that we the Chinese have become strong, we're going to be powerful, and because we are being powerful, all the other nations are now scared, quivering in their boots. Now, if you see the strength, the number of the population of China, the financial muscle that over the period of 100 years they managed to build. Now they've become a force. Economical wise, they are the second highest. The US is still the first. They are the second. But you see that power that is giving them that wind that they are taking over things. You go to Africa, virtually every African country has got the hand of China in there. Now, last year or the year before, we've had Hong Kong, where now China is in control of Hong Kong. But in his speech, he made a statement saying that Taiwan is in our, in our grasp virtually, and we are coming for it. And we want the West that he who dares is going to be smashing their heads at a still war or a metal war. Now, do you think, looking at that, should we prepare ourselves for a war or something, or you think peace will prevail?
Actually, thank you. But I want to look at it within historical context.
Okay.
Largely because history has taught us that at each point in time, there have been superpowers and there have been nations that have dominated. The Greek have dominated, the Romans have dominated, the British have dominated, the American took over. So it's just a matter of time that another, what do you call it?
Superpower
emerges. And we also know, if you watch the Animals Kingdom, sometimes when even antelopes, when they are being chased by, what do you call it? A lion. If they stand firm and they don't run and they all confront the lion, the lion backs
back down.
Sometimes you see the lions or the tigers who strategically pretend as if they don't know what they are doing, target the weak one, and prey on it and get So at the end of the day, what he is trying to say that, look, we want to be united as a nation. We are now becoming strong in the eyes of the world, and we have arrived. And these people are not going to allow us to be recognized as such or to also implement. And you also know that anytime there's a superpower, they try to have their influence over the whole world. Britain, for instance, was a colony. Was a Roman colony. And if you go to Bath, that is where the Romans have their headquarters. It's like that's where they are their headquarters. So each time there's a superpower, they try to have their influence. America emerging as a global superpower again was crowned. America was crowned during this after the war. When it came to the rescue of Britain, Europe and other things. And if you look at what then happened after that, the formation of global institutions that were used or have been effectively used to dominate the world. You're talking of the UN, you're talking of the World Trade Organization, you're talking about IMF, you're talking about World Bank. America successfully used those institutions, the global institutions, an architecture that is saying that, look, let all come to sign to it, but they have successfully used those organizations to dominate the world, because what their will has always, or to a large extent, what those organizations have actually done. What China is doing, for me, I do not think is wrong. If I were in their shoes, I will do same. Because at the end of the day, do not forget the Chinese also have gone through suffering. The British, there was a time, a journey to the west, their cargoes were stolen from them by the British. How was Hong Kong taken away?
And Taiwan.
They were killed. They also suffered in the hands of the mighty Britain, Royal Britannia, when they were sailing and other things. capturing territories, conquering people, pirating and stealing people's what do you call? That's what the British did and became successful. I get it, right? We know those periods will not come again, but the Chinese now know that, look, we are in a different era, information technology, so they are building their muscles over there. Space, they are building their muscles over there. Financially, they are building their muscles over there. So what is saying that, look, we're not going to control to the wings and distance of anyone who thinks. And they demonstrated that in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
When the West were crying, oh, you're doing this in Hong Kong, they didn't bother. They kept quiet, pursued the agenda, went there to coil. And to a large extent, if you hear of people who reside in Hong Kong, some of them were with Beijing. They actually welcomed them because the millionaires, in fact, Hong Kong had millionaires per every square of mile than any other country in the world. Now, if you look at what happened to that city, friends that we know, properties innocently were attacked. I mean, they shouldn't be suffering for a problem they didn't start. China went in and brought the situation under control. So that's what they're saying. That, look, we prepared, and it's a nationalistic speech that he delivered. Look, our forefathers fought. Here we are. We're also trying to defend the 4 billion and 4 billion people that we do have. And going forward, we're going to need all of you to stand firm. But one agenda you're gonna know, again, that once you advance the West in one way or the other, we're going to come trying to infiltrate us. Let's stand resolute and crush them, whether technologically, whether military, whatever it is. Let's stand firm and crush them. So I think it's more of a patriotic speech that he gave. And on the issue of Taiwan, they were brothers. They were twin brothers. If Cain and Abel now want to come together, I mean, even Prince Charles' children,
Harry and William,
unveiled this in honor of their mother. So I mean, they are twin brothers. I mean, Taiwan and China.
Yeah.
So if they want to come together again, why not? We know, as a matter of fact, that the West wouldn't like that because they use it as a spying zone into China. And China also is fully aware that the more the West has influence or have so much say in the affairs of countries that are at our next door, that is how they are able to infiltrate into our countries. And Hong Kong was a very perfect example where they were using that as a hub to launch into what do you call it, China. I think I wouldn't fault him for the speech he gave. I wouldn't fault him.
But he makes a statement. That's why I picked this story first. Now it says that the type of governance. Let me try to get them right. Listen, it says that Beijing should introduce a democratic reform such as party competition and respect. That is what I think the West want them to do. But he was of the view that only socialism can save China.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we've had a one party that is driving the agenda.
Yeah.
And this is where they've gone to or they've arrived at. Now, do you think that looking at that particular story, is that what some African leaders are trying to mimic?
No, African leaders are not trying to mimic that because the communist agenda. I mean, we have Cuba. That is, I mean, you look at their leaders. You look at China. You look at the lifestyle of their leaders. Wherever you have a pure or what you can call a true communist agenda or socialist agenda, the lifestyle of their leaders is evident. Okay? As opposed to where you have a capitalist system. Within a capitalist system, they use the system to transfer wealth for the public
to themselves,
and they justify it by saying that, well, within our system everybody can profit. The worst and the crudest form of capitalism is what is practiced in Africa, because even where capitalist agenda originated, they have inbuilt social safety nets. such that when there was pandemic in the US, the headquarters of capitalist system, every household received a check as a way of cushioning the most vulnerable within the society. UK here practice a breed. So there are institutions that are transport network, hospitals and other institutions that are pure for work on a more of a progressive socialist system. That is why we can access hospital, but again, it is not everyone that can receive certain medications for free. They do mean assessment progressively to say that the weak must at all times be supported by the strong within the society. So they might be a capitalist, but they have a hybrid system that they use effectively. Our leaders are a bunch of greedy people who have borrowed and actually picked capitalism at its crudest form and are practicing it worse than what capitalism is for. Capitalism did not say that it neglect the weak in the society. In our society, we have neglected mostly the most vulnerable, the weak, and have left them to their fate. We have resulted in actually accumulating at the center and giving it to the few who go around just for their families and friends and cronies. That is what we do. So, well, whatever they might want to use, trying to use brute force and other things, they are using it to entrench their positions, not to benefit the system. If you take Cuba, for instance, what they practice over there, they are strong with the people and for the people. They are never strong for themselves. They are never strong to use the system to profit themselves. No, that's not what they do. China, for example, Archie, you can't be a leader and be a corrupt leader.
No. The system will kick you out.
We've seen people who have been executed. State governments, state municipal authority who couldn't account for how much they spend on certain road projects and were executed. An example to say that the system we practice, you can flourish within the system, but there are certain boundaries that as a society we must not cross. Taxpayers' money is for the people. Anything you do and you cannot account for it, you will be held personally responsible for it. They are strong to protect their community and the public good. They do not want infiltration. Why has multi-party democracy? Sometimes we confused and look at multi-party as a system that portrays you are advanced. And we think that going to vote at the ballot box is a way of freedom. For me, it's not. What is happening in Ghana now, where freedom of speech is becoming a scarce commodity, you can't tell me that it's something democracy. We are a democratic country, and so what? It's just like giving me a soup without salt. You call it soup, right? No salt, nothing in it. Because you call it soup, you've opened the bowl, drink
that soup. Use it to
that's exactly
or whatever.
So our people they're trying to be strong just to profit themselves. Take a classic example of who Gaddafi was. Gaddafi, of everything that has been said about him, nowhere in Africa have we seen a demonstration of commitment to the social good and the welfare of the people than in Libya. Which country in Africa now, two people marry, and by marriage they are qualified for benefit? In this country, don't we have marriage allowance? What are they doing? They are helping people to offset certain and to preserve, crucially, certain institutions that holds this, because they know when the family even splits, it affects the whole society. Are you getting me? So yes, we are not going to ballot boxes every 4 years, but the resources of those countries were being used more judiciously and prudently than we see in more democratic countries. You take Nigeria, you take Ghana, You take Mali that just went to the poll. You take Togo that has worn the dress of democracy.
Yeah.
From the top to the down, we are a democratic country. But internally, that is not it. What China is proposing is that look, we have a way of training our people into leadership. The current president of China went down the mill.
Yeah.
Of about 30 years of apprenticeship to even step forward to become
a leader.
30 years. 30 years training to even lead a country, to understand what a country is for, to understand the society they want to build, to understand how principles do work over there. Are you getting me? I'm not saying they are not shrewd. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they are not corrupt. There are elements over there. But that is not the disposition of leadership and the orientation of government. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
What they're trying to do to introduce competition within the party structures to allow for leadership to be selected by party members. For me, fantastic. If they can do that, it is not to say that, oh, this party here, this party here. Within the system, can we have more participation instead of, 3 people who could, let's identify this person, which I think will work very well, and I will support them. Because so far, in our part of the world, democracy has
multi-party.
Actually, the two things that we practice in Africa, gangstercracy and and what do you call it, democracy. Those are the two things that we're practicing.
Gangstercracy and democracy. Okay, that's what is being practiced in on the African continent. What do you think about it? It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and it's now 11:41. Mr. Frank Davis and Archie here in the studio. We'll be opening the lines exactly in the next 19 minutes. We'll be having Mr. Dan TABIRI, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, joining us as well exactly at tick tack 12:30, and today is going to be looking at how to avoid tax avoidance schemes trap. Okay, how to avoid tax avoidance scheme traps. Okay, so make sure you make a date with us exactly one at 12:30. But now let's go on to some other stories making the rounds. Well, so how should African countries brace themselves for the influence of China now? Because the problem is, once you wield power and you've got a financial muscle to back it, I don't want to say that you become arrogant. No, but like you say, you exert your influence.
Yeah.
Now we see what is happening in Ghana and in other African countries where we have the Chinese. I mean, you can tell them. You can say that somebody has broken the law. You send them back, but you cannot be that stringent to say we can't let you come in because your people, majority of them are unruly and stuff like that. No. We had the other time where there's a story that a Chinese man's dog beat one of the workers and stuff like that, only the dog to go and bite the workers. And you think people can do that, but because of the power of their state behind them, they're able to do all those things. How do Africans brace themselves up for such interference? Should I put it that way?
The first thing is when you drove to the studio, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you were coming, did you put your start nav on?
No, because I know the route. So
and you know the route. Assuming you didn't know the route,
I will put the sat nav on.
But before you put, have you ever seen anyone going to somewhere they don't know, and then let's assume you turn sat nav on? Do you think if you don't tell the sat nav where you are going,
it will automatically will tell you there? No, you see me in the same position.
If you jump in a car and you start driving, you don't know where you're going. How will you even know you've gotten there? And how will you know the route to take?
Yeah.
So the first and foremost thing, in my view, is for us to redefine what we want.
Okay.
What we want. saying we want to develop is not enough. That for me are light words that every child can utter.
Okay.
The crucial thing is, you want to develop, how do we get there? And that is how you make your choices. So how do we get there? So we want to go to Birmingham. We decide to make a choice. Are we going to drive on M1? Are we going to drive on M4? Which car are we using? At what speed are we going?
Yeah.
What sort of driver do we need? Do we need someone who would ride a motorbike to drive us, or we need someone who drive an articulator? Now, if we are selecting a driver, are we looking at someone who has just passed his driving test? We are looking at someone who are driving in a long terrain.
Yeah.
There are some people who have a very bad vision and therefore cannot drive at night.
Yeah.
So if we're going to go on a journey, can we get someone, and we know we are starting at 6 p.m. Yes, he can drive. Do we need a driver who has a very blurred vision,
day mood or night mood driver?
Are you getting me? So actually, if we need to be able to define exactly, it's like a business plan. What do we want to do? Actually, let's say Star Radio says, okay, they want to set up, they want to operate, they want to get to a point where they will have their presence felt in across Africa. They want to have studios across the continent of Africa and link up with Africa. This is a goal, and that's the vision they're working towards. So the issue about whether whatever is happening in the UK over here started, it's not too much of the driving focus, is where they go.
Yeah,
that is a goal. That is where we want to get to, and that is why we're working towards. If we don't set that goal, we will be wasting our time just coming, talking, and again, the kind of programming you do will not reflect that. Okay, so if we do not know where we're going, we're not going to never arrive over there. And because what we need to get us there, we're never going to be able to put it together. Otunfo made a speech, rather Shantihini made a speech in the within the last 2 weeks. I think I wanted to send you a copy of that video, but I didn't. Forgive me for that. Which I think was one of the most profound statements that has been made on our continent and by a leader within the last few years that I can remember.
Okay.
But in that, I also saw a bit of weakness.
Okay.
In the statement, he said, in fact, Afriye, the Conservative MP over here, in fact, the UK government dispatched a delegation. They are touring most of this Africa. The other time we said they went to Nigeria and they went to the chief. It's trade. What they are doing, don't think it's because of your conflict. It is trade that they are looking at. So they went to the Mansha Palace and were to basically talk about trade, how they want partnership. You see, they still want to use Merida Day Sabe Wami because we've been married. They forcibly raped and married that before. Now that we've excreted ourselves from them, they still think because we've shared the same bed, although forcefully they tied us to the bed and were raping us, they still want us to recognize them as what they call consensual partners that were there and therefore should come again and embrace them. So they sent a delegation to Otunfo. They've gone to Akufo-Addo to soften it. That's what they do to sign kind of deals that will not be good for your children, and my children, and other things. And they were concerned. The issue about China involvement and influence came in. One of them was acknowledge how UK backed and has allowed China to have strong foothold over them. And Otunfo was like, look, you guys, when you came to use us to achieve your goals. You build railways from the port to our hinterlands to rape our lands,
natural resources.
After you've satisfied yourself, you abandon us after independence and left. You never looked to help us. You continuously use your system, impose conditions. Anytime we even need an assistance from you, you impose conditions that go to affect our well-being has basically
tied our hands
to be able to do anything. We were with you as, yes, friends, a master, this thing, but you thought we still are slaves and have dealt with us from even the time you left as slaves through your policies. Thank God we have another sweeter. A gentleman who from nowhere we never knew before, who came dangling some. I've just arrived. I'm a burger. I'm a burger. You know, if your husband, the other, you remember he raped you.
Yes, you. Yeah.
He's still not saying before. You can eat. You have to take salt from his house. Do this. They say no. Yes, he still. I know you have a child together with the Commonwealth, but I have dollars that I can give you, and I do not need you to come and eat salt from look, I can even bring the salt to you, not even necessarily you coming to me. I said, look, what do you expect us to do? And for me, if you look at the faces of Ikuruda Afriye, they were shocked. And for me, I think it was a good speech that he gave them. But you see, Archie, in our quest to also accept what China was offering, we actually went straight into the wrong side of it. We did not have institutions that can police the system to stop the greed. Every human being to stop the greed that comes with capitalism and naked democracy, which we practice. And therefore we open ourselves down. Whatever we've taken from China, because they've assured us that, look, the dollars they come with no strings. You can accept them. You decide what you
want to do.
And therefore, those who line up wearing white gloves and like the Queen's gloves, we are the leaders. We are wearing gloves, shakers. Whatever they take, they put in their pocket, and their pockets are lined up with cement. It doesn't filter to the whole population. There's a pipe over there that only drill, it takes only to their family. And that's the problem we have. Because the monies we've received from China and other things, if we have put them into use, Archie would have been better off as a nation. Going forward, how should we police ourselves? We've tried the West, we've tried the East. We know if we strategically position ourselves, we can take advantage. But the first is to tell all our leaders that Vision 2063 for Africa is a non-starter. And to be able to individually, and the youth must take the destiny of our countries in our hands. Protest is good, but protest with concrete actions. I want to get to a point where the youth cannot start suggesting policy alternative. That we are protesting on what is being done here. These are the 10 points alternatives.
You not just criticizing, but giving alternatives.
These are the 10 points alternatives. Look, you want to sell these oil blocks to these people. We say no. First, we want you to advertise for 10 months or 1 month. You want to raise 100 million? We are ready to chip in 1 naira, 4 naira, 10 shillings and other things. See, if you are not able to raise that 10 million from us as Ghanaian, the trot driver, this thing, then you can go and
outside to go look for people.
Whatever you have raised from us, we insist and demand that we become shareholders of that. We should start, the youth should start putting policy alternatives on the table. And that is the only way we're going to. If not, Auntie, the 100 years down the line,
we'll go with calabash in hand still.
Or even we'll go sacks. We'll go, sir. Let me say good morning to Dr. Martin.
Yes, Dr. Martin, I hope you are doing very well. Now, it is a sad situation because yesterday, that was, I was, when you see something and you get worried, not personally for yourself, but you are worried for the generation, you are worried for the continent, you are worried for the people who are going to come after you, that what is going to happen to them?
I think it's sad. But again, you have to. That's a problem we have. But we need a rethinking. Sadly enough, the systems we've designed are so corrupt that those who must do the thinking, because of, what do you call it? There's this. I tell you, there's always this theory that I titled it some way. That's why, as a direct result of inferiority complex, we most often than not, once we surface, come out blaring. We want to be seen. That's why when someone is appointed like a junior minister, what we want to do is to show off that we are ministers. We want to use power. We want to demonstrate that we have the biggest house. We want to demonstrate that we drive the biggest car. I don't have a problem whichever car you drive, but if the motive and if the understanding that got you to, when I was buying my Jeep, I bought a Jeep because of my safety. If the motive was to show off that, I would have fallen a victim and be one of those who think that they can buy 4.5 dozen. You go to Africa, you go to Wuntumi's house, there are over 32 cars. Just take a typical example of an African who is rich. Okay? You go to their houses, they have Maybach, wagon, Rolls Royces, another thing. You go to Colston, go to what do you call it? Hampstead.
Yeah.
Go to Bishopgate Avenue.
Yeah.
Where a house over there will set you back no less than 30 million pounds. Okay? The people over there, when they flip their hands, billions can come.
Yeah.
Look at how the cars they drive.
Yeah.
One or two white family and other things. An African make $1 million, the one who show off that they have arrived. Why? Because from the village, we didn't have it. We arrive in the city, want to show off. Just look at how we go to the villages and show off. You remember when people used to do that? Those who came from Nigeria don't get to blast.
Yes.
They go to the village and make noise.
I came with my ghetto blaster.
To show off. Are you getting me? And that is why politically, the moment they have a little bit of power, they want to show that today we got power and everyone must kowtow. I have arrived. An African is a man who is quick to ask you, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Who are you?
Are you getting me? Oh, do you know who I am? I remember this story. I flew to Ghana and I was going to do some consultancy for Ed. We met at one hotel in East Lagos, and there was this guy who was trying to raise finance. The guy that arrived, I think he has strip of shorts. He has a bit of liquid. Arrived from Bosokai in his Barracuda Mercedes Benz with trousers in his in fact, anytime either Ed goes with Chief or he goes with me to do some of those discussions. The guy came to realize that I was a Ghanaian. When the conversation went deep, he got to realize that I was a Ghanaian, and all of a sudden his attitude changed. Oh, but he told Ed he can do the business alone. Why did they bring this guy over there? Who is it? The guy stood up. Oh, do you know who I am? Pull his trousers, call his driver. I was quite listening to him. When he finished, Ed just told him, this conversation is ended because Frank is someone who packaged my deals for me. So if you're not ready to have a discussion with him or to have a discussion in his presence, I think this deal is off. 3 days we left the country. But you see, that mentality of do you know who I am, do you know who I am, that is what has come, and that is the mentality the kind of people like Buhari and others take to office, because they want to show off
who they are.
And that is why they can go and raise someone's up and shoot indiscriminately because they think they have state power. That is why the military can go to war and brutalize people because they think they have state power and nobody can question them. That is why the police can go to a draw and shoot just because they think the guns they have is sponsored by the state and they have state power. Are you getting me? That is why we can recruit hoodlums into the military, into the police, and clothe them, criminal element, clothe them, and badge them as police just to go and terrorize ourselves. And that is why the minister can decide to have power and cancel a contract that a parliament has signed to give out judgment debt. Are you get me? It's a mindset. It's the mindset, and we are not able to build those institutions to be able to support ourselves, because the people who build them will fall victims to how the system profits.
Yeah. Wow, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Just a few seconds to 12 o'clock. So let me announce the lines open, and we'll take a break, and we'll come back and continue. We're going to the African continent virtually today. The program is taking a different turn, but for sure at 12:30 we'll have our money man going to be joining us. But you want to join us? 0208-133-2257 or 58 0208-133-2257 or 58. For those of you in US or Canada, it is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp at 075-396-61744, 075-396-61744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So that means that the Roots of Africa this afternoon is coming on, and my colleague Mr. Frank Davis will be hosting Dr. Melida Harris Barrow, founder and board chairperson of the 6th Region Chamber of Commerce. The 6th Region Chamber of Commerce. And it's today exactly at 3 p.m. and then Raja TV, that is 4:30 p.m. Uganda, Nairobi, 7:30 p.m. EST. So make sure you join them. It is an Idol Networks presentation on Starr Radio UK. Come here every Friday at 3 p.m. It is Starr Radio UK. I'm Archie with Mr. Frank Davis in the house, and you can also join us as I did announce earlier on. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. We should have our money man exactly in the next 24 minutes joining us. And today, as she is said, we're going to be looking into what? Looking into tax avoidance scheme traps. Tax avoidance schemes trap. You don't want to get yourself in a tax avoidance issue. No. So make a date when Mr. Dan TABIRI, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, joins us exactly in the next 25 minutes. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Actually,
yes, Frank.
Before we go to the next topic, something I'm not going to mention the name. I'm not going to mention the name, but someone high profile was listening to us in Ghana now.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about the debt issue, the judgment debt.
Yeah.
It came in. The person has just sent me a 20-year review, a report, a 20-year review of judgment debt payments in Ghana. That's a report. Impact, causes, and remedies. And this report was conducted by Center for Social Justice. Let me just do something. I've just gone through the conclusion. Let me just read a caption in the conclusion for you. It's a 47-page document, and I promise we will take time and study it.
Yeah.
But this is what part of the conclusion. This is what it says, and I think it sums up whatever we're trying to talk about over the last few, or when it came to judgment day. Basically, it says that what has led to most of the judgment debt that we are paying has been negligence, non-adherence to contracts, and political rivalry. Okay?
Yeah.
Actually, I think there's a report that let's go to the other thing. I think during the week we'll try. I think we'll have time.
We'll serialize it, and then
we'll serialize it, and I'm going to try to see if we are able to the authors of this report. We are able to get one of them on the program to basically give us a bit of insight into their methodology. I mean, it's a well written document. I've had a look at it.
Okay.
Glance through. It's a very, very healthy document.
Okay.
And I think it's a good one. Thank you very much. I'm not going to mention the name, but we'll keep it at that, and then we will have a look.
Yeah, we will definitely have a look at that. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We've got Kojo D, who has also joined us. And let me just say, good afternoon to you, Kojo.
Hey, good afternoon. Archie and Frankie.
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm great. Yourselves?
Yeah. We're doing very well. Just worried about things that is going on across the world, and especially how it affects Africa.
Well, yeah, of course. We have to. We all have to be worried about how the issues affect us in several ways. We might be saying we're probably living here. We might be partly not directly affected, but indirectly, we probably take a lot of headache just listening to what is going on, because we are connected all over the place, as they put it. So we are connected back in Africa, we're connected back in Ghana and other African countries, really. So everything that goes around, we are impacted as well.
Okay, good. Now, just a quick one, so that we come to the next topic. The Chinese influence and how prepared Africa is. Because yesterday we were talking about the fact that the Chinese nation celebrated the 100 years of their republican status, or whatever thing that and you see the influence, the fact that they've used one system to drive the whole agenda, and they've arrived at this place where they are having influence such that the West is so scared that if they don't do something to curb them, they are uprising. They're going to get to a point where they are going to be the dominant force. Now, in a quick one, what do you think about that, and how prepared do you think Africa is for what is going on?
Well, Africa can never be prepared for anything. I'm just being honest. What is Africa prepared for? Zero, nothing. Africa lives day by day, if I put it that way. They've never planned for anything. They've never been prepared for anything. They've never planned ahead. They've never thought ahead. If you had, well, it's not to take a bite at him. A former president talking about Ghana was too quick at developing. Then how can we be prepared for anything quick at developing after independence? I'm not taking a swipe at him, but I didn't actually like that comment. I'm just being honest. So, and you find that repeated across various countries in Africa. We're just probably just marking time where you have people coming to power. They always say they have an agenda. When I was a boy, they had an agenda 2020. 2020 is come and gone by. None of that agenda that they had on the table had been fulfilled. Now they are talking about agenda 2050. I mean, I don't know. Every new leader has an agenda for 20 years, but they are not actually solving anything. It's all just based on paper. So what are they planning for? China is 100 years. Can we confidently say that a nation or nations in Africa who had independence in the 50s and the 60s, the late 50s and the early, so let's say 50s and 60s, how many decades have they gone? If you had independence in the 50s, you're almost 70 years. Nearly 70 years. In the 60s, you're almost what? 60.
Yeah.
What can they show for it? What can these nations show for that 60 years, for that 50 years, for that 40 years? If you were Zimbabwe, you've been independent for 40 years. What can they show? Nothing. They can only show hunger. People are hungry. People are sick. Malnutrition. Wars. Famine. That's all they can show. There's nothing practically to show. We know that some famines are man-made, but the situation is never improved. And we are talking about what place, Africa, what place do we have? Until our leaders rise up and put their acts together and begin to constructively think about planning for the nation. I heard the other day one leader is talking about, oh, they're going to start implementing the Korean and Singapore style of development. They all just talk, not backed by anything. No action whatsoever. I mean, we can say, probably we here can say that they are doing a bit, but what they are doing is not enough by any standards. So, if we're going to talk about China, China had grown over 100 years, and they rightly positioned themselves that what has happened to Africa, we've never grown in the last 50, 60 years, or 40 years, or 30 years, if we've been independent for that long. Nothing is there to show. And coming to also talk about China, China and Taiwan. I mean, if China decides to take a military action, what would the rest of the world do? Believe me, the rest of the world would just talk, because they won't do anything. You saw what Russia did with the Crimea?
Yeah.
What did the West do?
Nothing. Talk, and nothing.
In nothing.
And look at Hong Kong. Look at Hong Kong
exactly.
now.
Yeah. Even if we say, okay, Hong Kong, there is an agreement that UK government will give it up. So technically, it's a Chinese territory. So we can say that no, they give. But unlike Crimea, it wasn't a Russian territory.
Yeah.
There was no agreement between any party.
Yeah.
Overnight, Russia instigated a vote that the people should vote, knowing that a huge majority of the people are Russian speaking. they influenced every vote that was made there, and are actually even offering Russian passports to the citizens there. So what do you think a citizen there will do if I'm offered a Russian passport, which I think is better than the Ukrainian passport? Yeah. I would become a Russian. In any case, they will carry dual passports. So so they won't be able to. The West wouldn't be able to do anything.
Okay.
But I don't think China would really want to militarily take over Taiwan. They will do it softly. That's my view.
Okay.
They won't go full-scale military attack.
Okay. Let's see. We all here. We'll see what happens over a period of time. But it is Starr Radio UK. Kojo D in South London. My apologies, and Mr. Frank Davis with me in the studio. I'm Archie. We've got about 30 minutes to look at two serious stories, and then we have our money man joining in. Now, first of all, let's quickly have a look at what happened in Nigeria yesterday. Now, we all know that this week has been a week where the government, Buhari's regime, has, virtually, let me say, cracked down on the secessionists. First of all, getting Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah.
And we thought that will actually clip the wings of, the Igbo people. And then, Chief Sunday Igboho, who is also the leader of the secessionists when it comes to the Yorubas, also resident attacked yesterday. Now, information that has come through now was saying that, well, when they were coming to the place, they were attacked or they were shot at. That's why they also did that. Yesterday, we put a video of the aftermath of what happened on there, and the people were very, very upset about it. Now, looking at all that, now I was saying that if they're claiming that what was happening, they suspected that Chief Sunday Igboho was amassing arms to cause trouble. Why haven't they gone to the forest where we've got what we call them, the ISWAP and Boko Haram, who they know that well armed to the teeth? Why don't they go there to go and stop those things by going to small fishes? Let me put it that way.
Archie, again, let me set my discussion. I'm going to be brief in a historical context. You see, history tells us that Nkrumah was in prison.
Yeah.
Recently, we saw Mandela also being in prison. But Nkrumah's story is unique because of a reason.
Mm-hmm.
When elections were to be held, the current Odododio constituency, 1951, Nkrumah was still in prison. The people demanded he was the one they wanted.
The candidate that they wanted. Mm-hmm.
So the late Jake Obichebi Lamte's father stood as a candidate against an Nkrumah who never campaigned, never stepped foot in the constituency. His name was put on the list by the people, and he won more than 75%
of the vote cast.
The people at that time understood that whatever they were doing, they were not doing it for the Nkrumah, but they needed a figurehead to represent them, to push them. So whether Nkrumah is in, Nkrumah is out, the fight that they've all started will continue. They call it Aluta Continua. If the Igbo people believe in what they are doing, I'm not saying they should separate. If they believe and convicted and convinced that they understand what they are doing, and they were not done shouting, "Oh, chief, chief," they hail him chief. Same to Yoruba people who are calling for Yoruba nation now, that they are not doing it just to praise Chief Igbo. I don't think this should stop the agitation. Because I mean, if you are, thousands of people and one person, yes, a figure that will be taken. This is a time you need to renew your efforts to be able to push on the fight. That's the way I look at it. If they cannot reorganize themselves now, or if they cannot proceed, they should stop it. Because at the end of the day, whether it's a defeated or whether Chief Igbo or Igbe Sandy or whatever they got, whoever is around, they should forget it. Because look, he's a mortal being. He could have died. We could have woken up to hear that
he's dead.
He's dead without even military attack. The question I would then ask is, would they have continued with the agitation? And do they actually believe in what they say? If they do, it's one of the incidents that has happened. This should even renew their agitation. So for me, if they had a mission, they should not kill it. But if they didn't have a mission and they were there making noise and disturbing our ears, that's it.
Okay, let me come to Kojo. Kojo, do you think that the fact that we have these two leaders virtually being pursued, one has been arrested, one is being pursued, he's taking on his heels and they don't know where he's going, but the core or the cause of this agitation has not been addressed? So government is put that one on the back burner. That is where people are talking about being marginalized, fair representation and everything. They're not getting anything of the sort. Do you think just chasing these individuals is going to solve the situation for Nigeria?
The answer is no. I mean, I think the Nigerian government is already aware that it's no. What they've done is that they are chasing a soft target, if I put it that way. That soft target, if you eliminate that soft target, it doesn't remove the situation they have at the moment. They just got more other people are just going to come out of the shadows and assume leadership at any point in time. I mean, you know what? But if you want to compare it to those other terrorist groups,
Boko Haram, ISWAP, and all the
shadows. Ghosts. I call them ghosts. You can see the Nigerian military will not be able to locate where they are. They are just a ghost. They vanish as and when they appear. So that is one of the issues at stake. So they have to understand that picking up on a soft target doesn't solve the problem. More people are going to join in this cry for having their own, country or state. So what the Nigerian government should be looking at is, they've proposed it over and over and over. I don't know how it went. They talk about decentralization. Nobody knows, but they have to meet the demands of these people in a way that the country doesn't break up. Because the longer it goes on, the more agitated people become. The more organized people will become at grassroots. And of course, like what Frank was saying, if the people believe that they want to have their own state, they're going to have it. If you don't immediately solve the issues why they are crying for their own state, why they think they've been marginalized, why they think they bear all the wealth of the nation, but they still be marginalized. It will still go on and on. And as we know, what happened in the 60s, which became a civil war, because the people wanted their own country. So these things have never died since the civil war. The Nigerian government managed under military governments to quell it down. So they never went away. But invariably, some of the people involved in the military government were also from those same areas that are now calling for separate states. So it kind of made it quiet. People went quiet. Coup makers were silent. They were executed. So it was a bit hush-hush. And of course, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Nigeria didn't have the same situation that they have with Boko Haram now. So it's a difficult situation for Nigeria. I just hope that some way will be found out, instead of targeting soft I call it soft targets, going for soft targets who really, you put them behind bars, what happens? They are not violent people. You claim they have ammunition. Is it for protection? Or is it an armory? My belief is that it's probably more for protection. So it's not an armory.
People are being kidnapped every day. And so
and we know all these chiefs who have a small protection around themselves of 5, 10, 20 armed people. So those are some of the things that we should be discussing when we look at some of these issues.
Well, Frank, just a quick one, then we can move on to one other story from Ghana. Do you think that
time is almost up?
Our time is almost up. Mr. Tabiri will give us 5 minutes. Now, do you think that it's a fulfillment of the pledge that Buhari gave on Twitter? You remember what he said, that he was going to deal with them? Is that what he's doing now?
Actually, Buhari is still operating like an army robot. You see, Buhari will have to understand that this is not a system where people cannot communicate. When he was a leader, there was no Twitter. When he was a leader, there was no Facebook. When he was a leader, even Globacom was not in existence.
Was there mobile phone when he was a leader? I don't think so.
was not. So he has to move from that robotic controlling mood that he has been programming. Is that like a night mood that they put him on, to a point where he knows that this is a different territory? Because that incident that happened on Twitter, the attempt to block Twitter was to stop people communicating, and part of it was to say that, okay, we're going to do this crazy stuff and we don't want the world to know. You could have done that in 1970s. You could have manipulated what can go on. But you see, the footage that we have, most of them were coming up from the state institutions, but individuals that were either close to the scene, were at the scene, and can report of what they see. Citizen journalism. Are you getting me? Now he's going to grant them. Look, I said, when a snake is about dying, they struggle. Cut the head of a snake, you see the body trying to show its last strength.
But it's gone.
It's gone. I mean, this is not going to look. He's making it even dangerous, because we appreciate a lot of people who have called for dialogue, and I think that should have been the path that Buhari should have taken. He told us when I listened to one of his interviews, they asked him a question and he clearly diverted.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that interview.
Yeah.
They asked him a question: are we driving to Lagos? This is how do we get to Lagos? He said, when you get to Ghana, take Kotoka International Airport. He basically shot off the target. Now, he told us in that interview that he has now recruited or gotten, when this agitation started, gotten representatives from all the country, the chiefs, and to form kind of a discussion. I think he should have pursued that course and then engage more with the citizen. I mean, Buhari should have made it a point to be addressing the nation almost on a weekly basis, touching and calming down. I hear your cry, I hear your agitation. We are working behind the scene to ensure that we as a people can move on as one. The Igbos, I hear you. The Yorubas, I understand your frustration. The Fulanis, I understand you also need a place to work. But the killing, he has to be, so that people will know that at least the leader they have is not robot. Are you getting me? What is, I mean, everything is done now. I mean, from the leader that I know, yesterday when I got back home, I spoke to Akwanga again. That is exactly that Cameroon, Paul Biya tried doing. It backfired. It never worked. It didn't work. And as we speak now, that area it has no known peace, to the point that the French enclave, those close to Amazonia, they are now running
back into Cameroon.
They are running back because the English-speaking Amazonia, once a while, will also cross the border to want to take their friend, because they accuse them of veiling and using their places as launching pads to attack them. What Buhari is doing, I really, I don't know, but I think they should have chosen dialogue, and they are doing it because of tomorrow's rally. Whether they're going to be able to stop it or not, but it's not going to happen in Nigeria alone. Are they going to be able to stop the one happening in London?
No.
The one happening in New York?
No.
So what are we talking about?
Well, we pray that everything goes peacefully, that life will not be lost, that, I mean, cool heads will prevail, and then we will have, I mean, let them live amicably together. But as things are going now, well, I don't know what it's going to be. But it is Starr Radio UK. Now, let's come quickly to Ghana. Our money man will be joining us in the next few minutes. Now, Akufo-Addo's government relies on brute force and violence. To be quite saying he was a former national security minister. He was former minister for information as well. Now, let's look at the issue that went on in Ejura. Is it Ejura? Yes. Yes. Was it over the weekend, and it culminating into the death of two other people when the burial of Kaka took place last Monday or Tuesday, and the fact that the military came in and the police high command is justifying the fact that there are times that the police by defending themselves have to shoot into protesters when they think that their lives are at threat. Now, I asked the question yesterday that when you know that you are confronting protesters, they are not terrorists, but they are protesters who are aggrieved because of some issue that is going on. Do you use live bullets? Or do you use rubber bullets and other means to disperse them?
Actually, I think we
Can I come in before Frank?
Okay, yes, do.
I wanted to come in before Frank because Frank spoke previously.
Yes, go on.
Right, I wanted to say that I think the former information minister and national security minister is probably right. That's to be quite is right. Look, if in any civilized country, right, if you have people on either a peaceful march, I've seen the videos, I've watched it over and over and over again. I don't know at which point that the crowd looked as if they were violent. They never attacked the police. I've watched it about 6 times, 7 times. Look, in the whole, since Monday or Tuesday, I've been watching it over and over to see whether I can find an angle where I could see the civilians either throwing stones, throwing bricks, or attacking in any form or shape of any kind. But what I saw is civilians, unarmed civilians, running away when they saw the vehicles approaching. So they run away. You could clearly see policemen, kneeling and taking a position to really fire. So as to why they were using live bullets, I cannot understand. Really, I cannot understand. It doesn't even make sense in this day and age, in this time of our country as a development. I see what I see in that is that the police or the soldiers that were involved were actually have gone out to shoot at
the civilians or the protesters.
So if anything, they should have either used rubber bullet, like you said. They could have even used water cannons to disperse the crowd, although they say water cannons too can cause a huge injury on people. But that would have been better than shooting live bullets into a crowd of people. Once you shoot live bullet into a crowd of people, definitely the bullet will kill somebody. Even if you fired it into the air and not take aim at anybody, the bullet will still find a way to kill somebody. So it still doesn't make sense, whatever excuse that the IGP gives, whatever excuse that comes from the national security, it still does not make sense. When you look at the videos, you see policemen kneeling and taking aim at who? They can't prove otherwise that the people were also armed.
Yeah. But one of the guys who was shot dead, you could see the bullet hit the person and the person falls, and he wasn't holding nothing.
He even looked like a boy. I'm telling you, he looked like a boy.
Okay.
People demonstrated.
We know Amani Man is there, but Amani Man, give us 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, please.
Actually,
yes, Frank.
I've said it and I'll repeat it that the beginning and the genesis of this is President Nana Akufo-Addo.
Why?
Nothing less, nothing more. He must bear the full responsibility of what has happened. The blood of those people are on his hands because of the way the government has been positioned. Actually, I sent you a picture.
Yeah, let me.
Okay, put that picture.
Put
that picture on the screen. And for viewers who are looking at that, that is what we are told Ghana Police. That's a police officer.
Wow, with a nice hairdo. Are you going to the club?
Actually, can you see that? That's a Ghana police officer. These are the kind of people they've recruited into the Ghana police. Okay? Actually, let's be honest with it. Nana Akufo-Addo and his party formed vigilante group who helped them secure power. When they came into power, they wanted to find jobs for them and therefore rope them into national security, army, and this. And these are the boys that go around doing all this. Is that person a police officer? A genuine police officer?
He's wearing a uniform.
We know the police uniform. We know how they dress.
We know the commando.
We know how they dress. That is not a police officer. That's a criminal element paid by the taxpayers' money, sponsored by the state, who are used to terrorize Ghanaians. Who is the commander-in-chief for the Ghana Army?
The president.
Who appointed the IGP?
The president.
Actually, we had a very good when it comes to the discharge and the use of live ammunition. We had a very good opportunity to nip this in the bud.
Yeah, Ayawasu Wagon.
Post Ayawasu Wagon issue, we had an eminent man, a group of people who sat down, a Melchor commission, worked and recommended how discharge of arms should be looked at. Even dispatching someone to go to protest, to go and police protest, there must be a chain of command. The police must, as the first point of call the regional reinforcement. IGP must be informed, and under no circumstances should the military be involved. If military be involved, Interior Ministry, Ministry of Defense, the presidency must all be aware before the military is that procedure never happened in this case, right? You recruit people that your mission is to coil every opposition or any voice. It's just like telling us like we are Satan's kingdom. We pray against every voice that stands against us. Kill every voice dissenting views against us. Actually, we have.
Okay, gentlemen, let me say thank you very much, because this debate we have to continue, God willing, on Monday. Kojo, let me say thank you very much there, and to Frank as well. Listeners, it is the morning show, the Friday edition. That means that at 12:30 or gone past that, now 12:40, we have our money man, Mr. Dan TABIRI, who has joined us. So let's cross over straight to Mr. Dan TABIRI, all the way in Kent, where he is bringing us the money hour. Mr. TABIRI, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Archie, and to all the listeners. Very interesting discussions going on about our country, Ghana, this afternoon.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. We thank God for health, and the weather is nice out there today, so just trying to enjoy it indoors.
Oh, okay. He's enjoying it indoors. So that's a good one. That's a good one. Great, great, great. So, what are we looking at today, sir?
Yeah, today I want us to look at traps around tax avoidance schemes.
Okay.
I get a lot of queries, and I've dealt with a number of cases where people have either knowingly or unknowingly, or not having the full knowledge of what they're getting into, sign up to things that end up being caught out in tax avoidance schemes. I just wanted us to go over these and look at resources that HMRC have put out there to help people avoid getting caught into such traps.
Okay. How to avoid tax avoidance schemes, traps. Now, the other time, for some time now, I've had calls, some people calling saying this is the HMRC, blah blah blah, and then I'll press 1, and I think I pressed 1 the other time. I asked the person, he says, "Oh, you called," and I said, "Did I call you? What do you want?" He said, "Oh, your name." And I said, "You called me, so you have my details. Tell me who I am, and I also answer to that." But lots of people have fallen prey to that. So, how to avoid that? Yes, over to you, sir.
Yeah, so let me address that quickly. There are a lot of scams going around, especially with telephone and text messaging. You get a message to say that your national insurance number has been linked to some crime that the NCA or the police are investigating, and sometimes you're threatened with arrest or prosecution, and asked to press a number and talk to somebody or call a number and all that. People just need to be aware that these scams are out there. HMRC would never call you out there. If anything at all, you have an issue, they will write to you.
Yeah.
So people just need to be aware. If they get any of these texts, they shouldn't send their details or any details or speak to anybody. The moment you speak to them, you call them, then they will ask you to confirm some details. And that is when they'll use those details to scam you.
Yeah.
So people need to be aware of that.
Okay.
What we'll be looking at today is the tax avoidance schemes. And one thing that we need to make clear is the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are two different things. Tax evasion is illegal. It's a crime. Tax evasion is doing all, taking all illegal steps to not pay
your tax.
That you are due to pay. Tax avoidance, on the other hand, is not illegal, but it could turn out to be costly.
Okay.
So tax avoidance is when people try to bend the rules of the tax system to try to pay less tax than they owe. So trying to use the rules of the tax the rules, to bend the rules of the tax system to your advantage. It is not illegal, but it can be costly.
It's not illegal, but it can be costly.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you take on or you get yourself involved in a tax avoidance scheme, you, the taxpayer, bears all the risk. It doesn't matter if a professional person signed you up to it or you got bad advice in the process. You are ultimately responsible. If something goes wrong with the tax avoidance scheme, it all bounces back to you. Now, what we find most of the time is that a scheme is developed by some, let's call them, for want of a better word, let's call them tax experts.
Okay.
Who design a tax avoidance scheme and then sell it out and get people to use it. And most of the time, these might look, legal at the starting point because they've seen a loophole in the tax rules that they're using. But HMRC eventually catch up with them and then are able to challenge these in the court of law. And once the challenge from HMRC has been made successful, anybody who has used the scheme will now fall foul of the law, and therefore they will be liable for paying back any tax that they have avoided or any and also may incur penalties in the process. So this is the cost, the personal cost. Even though tax avoidance scheme is not illegal, these are the costs to the taxpayer if you engage in a tax avoidance scheme. A lot of people, most common schemes, there are so many schemes out there, but the most common ones that I have come across more recently have to do with people who have used some umbrella companies.
Yeah.
Now, these umbrella companies have schemes that people have sold to them or using them to be able to sell these schemes to people. And most of the time, how they sell it to you is that you would get more take-home pay. You will pay less tax. A more recent one that was around was one that gave you, if for example, if the amount that you earn was £2,000, they were able to give that to you. They will give you say £500 every month as your salary. And the rest of the £1,500 is diverted to you as a form of a loan, which would never get paid. Now, HMRC has clamped on this, and at the moment, a lot of people who have used these schemes have had to, make several disclosures and have to make repayments and penalties of these taxes to the taxman. So this is very current and it's ongoing at the moment. It will take a number of years before people are able to get themselves, out of this situation, because they are almost every year getting a tax inquiry to see or to confirm whether they are using any tax avoidance schemes.
Well, listeners, okay, just a moment, please. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, the Money Hour with our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. For all your accountancy issues, you know where to go to. Come to Mr. Dan Tabiri, and he will see to address it for you. Today, we are looking at tax avoidance schemes. Yeah. Do you fall prey? Have you fallen prey to any of that? Well, it says that HMRC is working assiduously to unearth and try to come after anyone who has used any schemes of the sort. So be warned. But whilst you are here listening to us, he is trying to unearth everything that you need to know to avoid being caught in that. So continue to stay tuned. Over to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Yeah, so let's look at some of the remedies or some of the things that you can do to stop you falling into such traps. overall, you would have to look at any scheme that is presented to you. And the attitude that I would encourage anyone to have is that if it looks too good to be true, then it almost certainly is.
Okay.
And that applies with in life generally. Anything that you presented, you have to look. If it's too good to be true, you have to be very, very, very careful.
Okay.
Okay. Now, HMRC have suggested some approaches, and they're calling this stop, challenge, and protect. So stop, challenge, and protect. So stop means that you don't sign anything you are uncomfortable with or you do not understand. So if somebody presents a scheme to you and you do not understand it, don't sign up to it. I would urge you to seek independent professional advice. If you're uncomfortable, if what they're telling you is too good to be true, then it's almost always certainly is the case. I would advise that you get somebody to check it up for you, especially if you don't understand how it works.
Okay.
These people will sell it in such a way that it's attractive, and it will give you more money, but you end up, it will end up costing you more if you are not very careful and you fall into this trap.
But let me ask you a question there. Now, if it happens that somebody who is working in an or under an umbrella company finds themselves in that situation, they are not doing they are not working their taxes or anything. It's the umbrella company that does all the deduction and all those things that comes with it. How do they challenge that?
Well, with the tax avoidance scheme, you will never be compelled to sign up to it.
Okay.
Yes, it is not compulsory. And as a matter of fact, I would urge you or advise you, if you're working with an umbrella company that is trying to introduce you to a tax avoidance scheme, I would urge you to move away from them as soon as, as quickly as you can.
Oh, wow.
Because what it means is that when the trouble comes, anybody who has used that umbrella company will come under the spotlight of HMRC.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whether you use the scheme or not. Yeah. So it will be sold to you, and usually the scheme that is presented to you will be incredibly complicated. You will not have a full understanding of it, but what they will sell to you is that don't worry, you just sign it. You take home more money, if you sign up to it, and that is what people fall for, and then they fall into the trap. Sometimes they even entice people with a cash bonus if you recommend a friend or you join the scheme, and they would have made their money. They would have taken their money, they would have taken their cut, and then they've gone.
Yeah.
But after HMRC will now come after you, when they come after you, there will be nowhere to be found. They would not support you, with a tax inquiry to try and defend your case. Most of the time they vanish into thin air after they've taken their money.
Wow.
So we have to be very careful.
Okay.
And you have to challenge it if you don't understand it. Challenge it. Get a professional person to look at it again.
Okay. Go on, sir.
Yeah. So secondly, we've spoken about challenging it. So we said stop, challenge, and protest.
Yeah.
And then so if the contract is incredibly complicated, don't get involved. Make sure you fully understand whatever you're signing before you do. If the scheme is added onto the contract as if it's a condition for you signing up to the umbrella company, I would say to you, walk away straight away. Don't sign up to it. There are several umbrella companies that you can use. And yes, even if you're taking less money, that should be okay. You would have your peace of mind, for several years. Because if you get yourself entangled in a tax avoidance scheme, you would have an inquiry that goes on for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then lastly, protect yourself. So stop, challenge, and protect. Protect yourself. If you think you've been encouraged to enter into a tax avoidance scheme, you can report this to HMRC. Then HMRC can even look at it for you.
Okay.
HMRC, if you report it to them, they can look at it for you to say, okay, it's okay to go ahead or not. Or they can go after the scheme and to try to stop it, or to protect others from also getting themselves involved in the scheme. So it's important that if you follow these steps, again, HMRC will take into consideration if in case of an inquiry that you have, if you have worked with an umbrella company that's been involved in a tax avoidance scheme, if you have taken all the necessary precautions, then HMRC will take that into consideration, that you've taken all the necessary steps to try and protect yourself.
Okay. All right. Listeners, this has been Mr. Dan TABIRI, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, on the Money Hour. And today we've been looking at tax avoidance scheme. How do you get yourself out of there? You don't get yourself roped up into it. But Mr. TABIRI, if somebody listening to us has already been involved, they are already in the thick of it. Now, what can they do to get themselves out of that?
Yeah, if you are already, you've already in a scheme and you've used a scheme, what you need to do, HMRC has opened the doors for people to make disclosures. So even if they haven't come to you, I would urge you to, because they would by all means come get to you, I would urge you to get in touch and make the necessary disclosures. They have opened a disclosure portal where you can report and say, I use this particular scheme, give details of the scheme, and they will be able to assist you to bring your...
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. I think we've lost the link to Mr. TABIRI's place. Yes, Mr. TABIRI.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, HMRC have opened the doors for disclosures to be made. So if they have not gotten to you, then I would say get in touch with them, make the necessary disclosure that you've used this particular scheme, and therefore you think you are not sure. If you are not sure of the scheme, let them check it out for you. If the scheme is okay to use, then you are fine. But if it's on the avoidance list, then you would have to, they would help you to be able to bring your tax affairs in order. And because you have approached them, they would not charge you any penalty. So it's all about cooperation. If they have gotten in touch with you about a scheme that you have used, then by all means I would urge you to cooperate with them. Provide all the necessary information that they ask for. And, if you are cooperative, then they will reduce any penalties that you may be liable, and therefore will be less costly in the end.
But one last one before I'll let you run up. Now, has the HMRC got maybe a list of published list of some of these schemes?
HMRC, yes, HMRC publishes a list of tax schemes, avoidance schemes, that they have taken to court and won the cases.
Okay.
So if you go on gov.co.uk, hmrc.gov.co.uk, and search for tax avoidance schemes, you'd get a list of schemes and some guidance on it as well, which will let you know if you are using any named scheme. Then yes, because what people do is that when they set up this tax avoidance scheme, they have to register it with HMRC. So HMRC become aware, and HMRC gives them a number So if you use the scheme, when you do your tax return, you have to disclose that you use this tax scheme as well, so that HMRC will be aware. But until HMRC are able to challenge this scheme in the court of law, then that scheme is okay to use.
Oh, okay.
But as always, when the scheme fails in court, then all of a sudden the tax becomes liable.
It makes it quite decent, because assuming somebody introduces a scheme and HMRC has not challenged it as yet, and it's good, and I'm using it, you get it, and until the time that they come to say no, we don't want that, that means everything that I've taken, I'm supposed to pay for that.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. That's why you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very, very careful with tax schemes. Like I said, if it looks too good to be true, then walk away.
Okay. If it looks too good to be true, then walk away. But when it comes to the money hour with our money man, don't walk away, because he's got a fact. If you've listened to us this afternoon, you know for sure that what he's saying is true. Maybe you're confused about the whole thing. You want to get in touch with him for him to actually have a one-on-one with you to try to explain things or hold your hands in your tax affairs, then please, he's going to put his contact details across, and then please make sure that you get in touch with him. Over to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Yeah, so if you need any advice in this area with regard to any tax avoidance schemes or an ongoing inquiry, you can reach out to me on 07961248834, 07961248834, or you can also reach me via email at dan@gilaccountants.com, dan@gilaccountants.com. Or if you reach out to the studio, they will give you my contact details.
Yes, for sure. We will definitely do that. Before we go, your final words, sir?
Yeah, so final word, just a tidbit. For those who have been working from home during the pandemic, you can make a claim for HMRC have opened a portal where you can make a claim for use of home, and it's worth £6 a week. HMRC would give you the credit, either they do that through your tax code so that you get the tax refund, or they'll send you a check in the post if the year has passed. So yeah, for people who have worked throughout at home or partly at home, go and look for the portal and make the claim. If you file a tax return, you can make a claim through your tax return. Previously, everybody who worked at home was entitled to £4 a week allowance, but this has been lifted to £6 a week for the period of the pandemic. So people should take advantage of it if they can. It's worth about £52 in cash if you are a 20% a basic rate taxpayer. If you are a higher rate taxpayer, you're looking at about £125 in cash.
Interesting.
So that is also available. And then also to remind people, we are in July. People need to, if you claim tax credit, you need to renew your claim latest by 31st of July, or all your tax credit awards will be cancelled and you'll be asked to pay it back. It's been very painful where people have just forgotten to file their renew their tax credit claim, and they've been asked to pay it back. This is enshrined in law, and you will not be able to get yourself out of it. So if you're on tax credit, make sure you renew your claim by the 31st of July.
Okay. Mr. Tabiri, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful time.
You're most welcome. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you. We'll get in touch with you just after the program, sir.
Okay.
All right then. Yeah. Listeners, that was Mr. Dan TABIRI, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, on the Money Hour. And today we had a look at tax avoidance schemes. Well, he's told you as it is, as he said earlier on. If it sounds too good to be true, then you have to actually walk away from it. But I promise you that this conversation or discussion is going to be ready on the podcast in the next 10 minutes. And if you want to listen to us or go view or watch us, you go back to the broadcast for today, and you will have it on there as well. So make sure you don't find yourself or fall prey to that. But before we run up the program, this afternoon is going to be happening live. The one and only Roots of Africa show is going to be taking place. We're going to be having Dr. Melinda Harris Barrow, founder and board chairperson of the 6th Region Chamber of Commerce, today, exactly at 3 p.m. It will be hosted by Mr. Frank Davids. It is an Idol Network presentation. Roots of Africa. If you are in Raya or Raya TV, it's going to be 4:30 p.m. and those of you in Uganda and Nairobi, 7:30 p.m. EST. So make sure you listen to or watch that program. It will give you more insight into the African continent, how you can transact business there, and everything that you need to know. We take a quick break, and once we come back, I bring you my final music, and then we will bring the curtains down.
Camarade nyora machi nyora kwa Jayuni Eruba Yole Bilili Yole Nothing more better Yole Mano Karakara
Okay, so let me say thank you very much to each and every one of you for joining us today. This evening, exactly at 7 o'clock, the Afia show will be coming your way with an Afia Sewerakoto. And remember, Sunday we coming your way with a live chat broadcast, followed by the Faith Talk with KB Bossman. So make a date with us as well. But on that note, let me say thank you very much to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, Kojo D, and Mr. Dan TABIRI, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. And to you who was listening to us, have a wonderful weekend, and we catch you all up later on. Bye bye for now. It's been me, Archie. God bless.
Living in the world, my sister. Some are really gonna love you, and some are really gonna hate you.
Thanks for listening.